Good afternoon, it's our finale here with RMI once again. I hope everyone had a fantastic week. As we head closer to the end of June and into a nice summer, a lot of us accountants are looking forward to the summer where we can finally relax a little bit. But one question I get sometimes asked to me is, how do I know that you're the right accountant, or how do I choose the right accountant for my small business? So I came up with a few points of things to consider as you're searching for a good accountant for your small business. The first one is to really consider, do they have a designation? In this day and age, in the accounting industry recently, there was a merger of the three designations. There used to be a CGA, CMA, CA, and they merged into the CPA format. It is important that you discuss whether your accountant has a designation. Do they need that skill set? They come with a lot of education and a lot of experience, and now as things go forward, a lot of banks and institutions are looking for financials that are signed off by designated accountants. So I think it's really important you consider this when you're looking for an accountant. The next factor to really consider is, what's the experience level of the accountant that you're going to be working with? When typically in our industry you start, a lot of times you'll do your articling if you're a designated individual. You'll work for maybe a big firm, maybe a small firm, but what's the experience working with small business in particular? And it's really important that they have that experience. A lot of times people might have audit experience, but when you're a small business, you don't need somebody who has that. You need somebody who can do more on the tax side and do some planning around your business and your structure. I think the third important point to consider when you're considering who to hire as an accountant for your small business is their reputation. Did you get their contact from a referral source? Can they provide you some referrals of people they've worked with? I think this is really key. You want to make sure you can work with somebody who gets along with you, who's really friendly to work with. I've heard stories of accountants that don't communicate very well back to their clients. I've heard stories about their accountants who've disappeared on them, on clients. So it's really important you make sure that they have a really good reputation. If they're not from a referral partner, make sure you ask them for some good referral sources and talk to some of their clients about your needs and make sure that the accountant can help you achieve them. Next big one, and this is a really important one actually, is the availability of the accountant. As a professional, the service is very high in demand, and the biggest complaint I get from a lot of our clients that switch over to us is that I just can't get a hold of my other accountant. And one of the biggest reasons for this is many small business accountants, they're one or two small practitioners working in their office, and they get so overwhelmed with the amount of work they have to do, especially from January till June, that they just don't have the time and the availability to take on new clients, but a lot of times they still try to. And so they don't communicate back, they're not answering questions, they don't have the team around them to be able to service that need. So it's really, really important you make sure that when you're working with a good accountant, that they have the availability so that they can answer your questions, even if it is at the end of the month or in the last week or last 2 weeks of April. The last key point that I have for you today when picking a good accountant to work with your small business is, do they have the ability to grow and the skill set to grow with your business? Do they understand about tax planning? Do they understand about corporate structures? Do they understand simple things? We've talked about holding companies in the past. Do they understand what those are? And it's really important when you find an accountant that you can look for somebody who has those types of skill sets, because you don't really want to be switching your accountant every 2 years. You want somebody who has that ability to grow with your business, and so that you guys can work together long term. Thank you very much and have a great week.